welcome back to another video here on my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my latest draft, my current thinking before the Premier League starts. We're a week away from it now, and this may change a lot before it may change a little, we'll have to see. But for now, let's get into the video. In goal, we've gone with Aaron Ramsdale. Now, the reason I've gone with Ramsdale is because he is a really good goalkeeper for a very good team. I think Arsenal improved defensively from last season. And last season, he was one of the top goalkeepers in FPL. Now, for 5 million, I think it's a gift. I think it's one of the best picks at 5 million. And to top him, I think you have to go premium. He's good for save points. He's good for bonus points. What more do you want? Nailed on keeper, good for points. Let's just get into the next pick. Now, in defense, I've gone with Cancelo. At 7 million, I think it's a no-brainer to just have him. He scored over 200 points last season. He is one of the main players in this City team. I don't expect him to be rotated a lot. There's just less depth in the team. They've sold Zinchenko, they've sold Sterling, so I expect Cancelo to be even more nailed in this side. If Cucurella comes in, Cancelo could just move over to the right. Now, that might impact his output, but it remains to be seen. But for now, he's in my team 100%. Next to him, I've gone with Kyle Walker. I think he is a really good player for 5 million. I don't expect a bunch of attacking returns. He's just a solid player in a solid City team, which will get you a lot of clean sheets. I want to double up on that City defense for the start of the season, and I think Walker may be the way to go, especially since Laporte is injured until early September. I think Walker's going to be even more cemented in that right back spot because Stones and Ake will have to cover for the centre backs. Now, Diaz is also kind of a doubt. He will likely play, but Pep has said he has to monitor his minutes because of his hamstrings. So I think Walker and Cancelo are both pretty nailed in that City team. Next to them, we've gone with Reece James. Now, James versus Chilwell has been a big debate for me. The decider in this is because Chilwell hasn't played a lot in preseason. James has, even though he's been playing centre back a lot. I think James is just such a good player. If he ever goes into that right back spot, he can get you an 18-pointer. He can get you a 20-pointer. He can also get you a 0-pointer. I mean, it's an up and down roller coaster ride, but I'm all for it. If Chilwell bangs, I will just swap him in. Now, to complete the defense, I've gone for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he is a mainstay in this team. 7.5 million. If a midfielder scores over 200 points at 7.5 million, you're going to want that midfielder in your team, and he's going to be nailed in your team the whole season. Why do we even think about this with Trent? For 7.5 million, he delivers like a midfielder, and he gets clean sheets. Honestly, don't overthink it. Now for the punty part of this. We've gone for Jackie Grealish. Jackie boy is in the draft. He's made it. This is before the Community Shield. If he doesn't start the Community Shield, I'm going to get cold feet so fast. But if he does get the start in the Community Shield, and if he looks good, he might just make it and survive this draft until the game actually starts and I can't swap him out. I really hope he does, because I really want to take the punt on him for 7 million. If we can get Aston Villa form Jack Grealish, this is going to be a gift. Now, he was very wide last season. City fans do believe he'll play a little more narrow this season, more like he did at Aston Villa, because Sterling is left. The fullbacks will probably overlap instead of underlap, so he'll just go inside, cut inside, get more space on the ball, because last season he was kind of creating space for other players. This season, he might be the one getting into the space and capitalizing with attacking returns. Now we have a budget-friendly option in Neto in the midfield. He has Leeds in the first game, so why not take the punt on him for 5.5 million? If he doesn't do well, there are plenty of options. You know, you can go 6 million up to Martinelli, to Lingard, or just stay in 5.5 with Wissa or whoever. I think there'll be plenty of options we're not even seeing right now. For now, he's in my team. Plays left wing for Wolves, takes corners, takes free kicks in a team that loves to score headers. I think he's going to be really good. Raul Jimenez is out. Podence will probably play the false 9. I think that just cements Neto even more in that starting 11, so why not go for him at the start of the season? Now we got the king. Obviously we have to go for the king. Now my reasoning behind this is he is the most expensive player in the game. If he doesn't deliver, it's very easy just to drop him down to Son, De Bruyne, whoever you want. You can't really bring Son or De Bruyne up to Salah in one move. So it's very difficult at least. So to me, just to start off with Salah against Fulham, it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's just start off with him, probably give him the armband, see where it goes. If it doesn't work out, you can always move him back. Now, Marcus Rashford, he made the draft. He is also very punty, but I do like Marcus Rashford. He's looked very lively in preseason. He looks nailed in that Ten Hag side. If they don't sign a winger, if they don't sign another forward, I think Marcus Rashford is going to get a lot of minutes in that team. Him and Sancho are really good picks. I think I'd prefer Sancho, but for 1 million less, I have to go with Marcus Rashford. Up top, Gabriel Jesus makes the draft. Now, he has Crystal Palace away in the first game, the Friday night game, and as an Arsenal fan, I can't be cowering behind the couch each time Jesus is going to score. Hopefully, he nets me a hat-trick and makes me very happy. He's been on fire and looked very honoured in pre-season. I'm hoping that remains the case in the Premier League. If not, well then all 64% of the game, well, we're all gonna just suffer together, I guess. Now, I've partnered him with Harry Kane. Now, I like this draft because it kind of levels out. I got a Spurs attacker. I am very scared of Spurs. I think they are really going to have a good season. Harry Kane looks really on it this preseason. Him and Son, it's kind of picking between the two. It's very difficult, but I do like Harry Kane. I really like what he has to offer. So with the penalties and everything, if I could get Son in there instead of Kane, maybe I would. I don't know. But I do really like Harry Kane. I think you shouldn't overthink this. He is a known entity in this FPL game. Haaland is not, but you could move Haaland to Kane or Kane to Haaland if you just move very quickly after game week 1. I mean, Kane has Chelsea in game week 2, so I get why you would go Haaland. But for now, it's Kane. Well, let's just see how it goes. I don't think this is going to be a season-defining moment to pick Kane or Haaland at the beginning of the season. Sure, it might get you a little bit of a head start, but let's just see how it goes. Now, on the bench, we have Caballero, Bailey, Neko Williams, and Archer. I'm not going to go into detail here. Caballero's just there because he might get some playing time as a Southampton keeper. Bailey's there because I really like him for 5 million. Hopefully, he can nail the spot at the Aston Villa line. I mean, he came on against Manchester United in pre-season, scored and grabbed an assist, so I mean, he looks like he delivered something. Gerrard, after the game, said that he was kind of, and didn't say exactly Bailey, but he said the players that came on showed that they want to be in that starting 11. So to me, that sounds like Bailey has a shot. Neko Williams, if you've seen my Nottingham Forest video, you know how important fullbacks are to the way they play. He is going to be a key asset in that team. They paid 16 or 17 million for him. I don't expect him to sit on the bench. I think he's going to be a starter for Nottingham Forest, and for 4 million, that is a gift. Archer is just there as a budget enabler. Could be Greenwood. But the point is, Archer is there because he had a decent preseason. Might still change that. Now, this team does have a 93% rating on Fantasy Football Hub Rate My Team tool. It's expected to get about 68 points this first game week. So that's a really... I mean, if I get 68 points in the first game week, I'm pretty happy with that. I think the average will be, it's usually about 60, 50 something, so I'd be pretty happy with that. I think that's a good start. I think it's a solid start, and it's very flexible as well. Let me show you. So this is the draft here in the official page. Now, we have 0.5 in the bank, so you can see that there's a lot of flexibility. We can still put Neko Williams up. We can put Bailey even more up. We can put Neto up. There is room for improvements. I personally like to have 0.5 in the bank because it allows me to move for Kane or Chilwell in case I need to move for some of them and I don't have to move immediately in the week. I can give it a little thought, even if they're rising and dropping in price. But if you wanted to move some more assets in here, Bailey could become Andreas Pereira, and you could upgrade Grealish to Luis Diaz, for instance, and then you could just go Kane to Haaland. I mean, this is pretty decent. I think this is pretty decent, and I'm sorry about the clicking and the keyboard and everything, but I think this is a pretty decent draft. It allows a little flexibility. You could even get Ramsdale up to Ederson and just drop Walker down to a 4.5. I mean, there are plenty of good 4.5 million defenders. I even put together a watch list of defenders that I like in the game. But the point is, this is a flexible draft. It also sets you up pretty nicely for price points. Haaland is 11.5. Jesus is a mid-price striker for 8. So you got a premium and a mid-price striker. Then you got Salah as a premium midfielder. Luis Diaz as a mid-priced midfielder. Rashford in that punty 6.57 territory. Neto as your budget-friendly player. Then you got Cancelo and Alexander-Arnold as the most expensive defenders in the game. James right there in the 6 territory, Walker there in the 4.5 territory, and Neko Williams as your budget-friendly player. And your goalkeeper you're probably not going to touch until you wildcard, so Ramsdale's just going to have to stay there for 5 million. You can go 4.5 if you want to free up some funds. But it sets you up pretty nicely for some price points, and it allows you to be a lot more flexible. I think 4-4-2 is the way to go if you want to be flexible. So keep that in mind when deciding on who you're going to pick and what formation you're going to use. If you don't want to wildcard early, 4-4-2 might be the way to go. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Help me grow this community. Now, get in the comments below, let me know what you thought of the draft, what draft would you like to see next, or DM me on Twitter. You can see the handle right there on the screen. Up in the right corner, my mini league code, consider joining that. I will be doing some YouTube content around the mini league over the season, so if you want your team represented in the YouTube video, you can just join my league and try and win it. The top players will always be represented. Other than that, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.